guys, welcome back to BeautyBook. I hope all of you guys had an amazing 2017. It's a new year, so obviously I'm back in a new room, in a new house, new hair. It's been a long year, but I'm really excited for 2018. I will be getting back into YouTube finally, and hopefully I'll be more consistent this time. But today's look is basically going to be like this brown smoky eye, and this literally you only need one palette, 3 eyeshadows, and like 3 brushes. It's the easiest look. I do it all the time. It is my go-to glam makeup look, but it's really not that hard. If you guys like my content, then make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so I can keep making these videos for you guys. Now let's get into the video. Alright guys, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and moisturize my face. I'm using the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, and I don't usually get that dry, but in this past winter, I don't know what's been happening, but my skin's been like really dry. So I'm just putting on moisturizer. And even if you don't have dry skin and you have oily skin, I would still recommend putting on a moisturizer, because I feel like your makeup just goes on so much more smoother. Not forgetting the neck. And make sure your hands are clean. I washed my hands right before I started applying anything on my face. And the next thing I'm going to do is just spray my face with the Mario Badescu facial spray. And this is the rose water and aloe. I don't know how to say his last name, but this stuff smells so good. And the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my concealer, and I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in light medium. I'm just going to use this as my eye primer because it works great, and you don't have to use 2 different products. I'm just going to dust some translucent powder over my eyes, and this brush already had like a bunch of translucent powder because I just used it before. This makeup look is really easy because you're literally only using 2 to 3 shadows, and it's like my go-to. Like if I'm ever trying to go somewhere a little more fancier, if I don't want to like put too much time into my makeup and I barely have any time to get ready, which is usually the case, this is like my go-to look. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my chocolate bar. It smells so good. I'm going to take this shade right here. And clearly you can see how much I use it. It's like a cool tone brown, and I'm going to take that color and using my Sigma E55 brush, and I'm just going to place out over my lids. And I'm going to really pack on the color. Once I've placed that on both of my eyes, I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and I'm just going to buff it out. And I'm just taking this Urban Decay brush that comes with the palettes, and I'm just going to buff out the edges. And just to warm up my edges a little bit more, I'm going to take another blending brush. I'm going to go in with the M441, and I'm going to take this shade right here. It's almost like, it's like a bone color. I wouldn't say pink, it's more like, it's a bone color shade, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to use it to buff out the brown I had put earlier. Again, I'm going to just use it to buff out the edges. I'm not going to take it too down. I'm literally just using it to warm up my crease. And I'm just going in windshield wiper motions, and then I'm going in little circular motions at the edges. And if you want, you can stop right there and put on wing eyeliner and your lashes and stuff, and that's it. But if you want to be a little bit more dramatic, then you can take a brush like this. And this is the M507 from Morphe. And I'm just going to go in with this dark brown color from the chocolate bar. And I'm just going to put this on the edges. Just going to take it on the edge and buff it. Like kind of into a V shape, but not too much. And kind of bringing it towards my eyes. Like, can you see the difference? This one is like a little bit more smokier in a sense, and this is more like that chocolate brown. I'm going to do the same thing with my right. I'm just going to put it on the corner and then start buffing it in towards the center and then buff it out. And then don't worry about the fallout because we're going to clean it up with either a makeup wipe or your concealer. And now I'm just going to go back in with the M441, and I'm just going to use it to blend everything in together. Again, just blending out the edges. And then you can build up the intensity, like just going back and forth with those 2 same colors. And all you need is literally this one palette to do this entire look. So I'm okay with that intensity for right now, and if I want, I can always go back and deepen it up a little bit more, but for right now I think that's good. And I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and wipe off my edges. I'm just going to rub the primer into my skin and kind of pat it into my pores. And then the foundation that I'll be using today is going to be my Hourglass foundation, and I'm in the color Sand. I usually use this foundation when I'm like really in a hurry because it goes on like so quickly. But I also feel like this foundation looks better as the day goes on. Like it looks better like 30-40 minutes after I put it on. I feel like when I first put it on, it feels like it sits on top of my skin. After like 30 minutes, once it dissolves into my skin, I feel like it looks a lot better. And I'm just using the Morphe M439 brush to buff it into my skin. And this is a full coverage foundation. I feel like gotta make sure you get it into your hairline, and then I kind of like do it on my ears and then bring it down to my neck, and then just going back in and really pushing it into my skin. Now I'm gonna go in with my concealer to conceal and highlight, and I'm going in the same Shape Tape by Tarte in light medium, and I'm going to make like an upside down triangle. I feel like this product a little goes a long way, and I'm using a very thin layer, like it's not thick at all, and also because I'm almost out of this. And then I'm just going to take it on the bridge of my nose and a little bit on my forehead and like a dash on my chin. I don't like too much on my chin. And make sure I'm getting the sides of my nose. And then I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to blend it out. And I'm not moving the product, I'm pushing it into my skin because I already placed it where I kind of wanted it. So I'm just buffing it into my skin now, or blending it into my skin. And I'm using like the edge of it and kind of squeezing it together to make sure that I don't get it on my eyeshadow. And the same thing for the bridge of my nose. Now I'm going to take the back of it. One thing about the Hourglass foundation, I feel like the best way to apply it is with a brush. I feel like it doesn't look as good with a beauty blender. I have tried it with a beauty blender, and I feel like it just didn't buff out and melt into my skin the way I wanted it to. So I feel like the brush is the best way for the Hourglass foundation specifically. Make sure that's nice and blended. And I'm just gonna go back in with that same brush I used to put on my foundation and make sure there's no like harsh lines. And I'm just going underneath the concealer. And now to set it, I'm going to use a mixture of the RCMA translucent powder and banana powder. I just made a mixture and I put it in this like tub. I really like the consistency of the RCMA one, but I really like the color of the banana powder. So together, I feel like they make a really good combination. I'm just going in with the Morphe M433 to set my concealer. And I'm just going to set all the other places that I highlighted. So the bridge of my nose, my forehead, just a little on my chin. And I'm also going to hit my smile lines because I feel like that's where I crease up the most. And now with like a big brush like this, a big face brush, I'm just going to take a little bit more of that powder and I'm just going to dust it all over my face to set the rest of my face. And I'm using this same brush to kind of dust away any loose powder that was left. I'm not necessarily using this powder to bake, but I'm just using it to go over my foundation or my concealer to set it in place, but not like necessarily to bake. And now I'm going to take the Real Techniques brush and I'm going to use my MAC bronzer, Give Me Sun, to bronze up my face. So I'm just going to take it from my ear and bring it down. And I'm going to go up to my forehead. I don't really have to contour my forehead that much because my forehead's really small, so I just do it a little bit just to like give it like a sun-kissed glow. And then I'm going to take the same shade, the same bronzer, and bring it down to my jawline. And same thing with this side. And I'm kind of going like upwards and buffing it out. Same thing here. Now to contour my face, I'm going to use the M523 brush from Morphe. And I'm just going in with my Hoola bronzer. And I'm just deepening up where I had put my bronzer. And I'm taking that same foundation brush and kind of cleaning it up. And now I'm just going to brush out my eyebrows a little bit. I'm actually not going to fill in my eyebrows today because I'm trying to grow them out, because last time I got them done, my eyebrow lady thinned them out a little bit too much. But it's okay. I'm just gonna comb them out. Now I'm gonna do my top eyeliner, and I'm gonna use the e.l.f. eyeliner. Honestly, if you wanted, you could just put on a wispy pair of lashes and skip the eyeliner total, but I just can't wear lashes because my eyes are too sensitive. So I'm just gonna do top eyeliner. It is so hard to do a wing eyeliner on camera. Once your wing is done, or your eyeliner is done, however the way you want it, if you want, you can go ahead and stop right here. You don't have to do a wing. Or if you want, you can just put in a little bit of black kohl on your eyelashes and buff it out and kind of have like a smoky eyeliner. And now I'm just going to put some shadow on my bottom lash line. I'm just going to take a small angled brush like this, and I'm going to go into that same eyeshadow we used to buff out our corners. And I'm going to put that on my bottom lash line. And I'm just going to take it almost about a third in. And now I'm going to take a brush like this. This is from Coastal Scents. I'm going to take that color that we used to put all over our lids. I'm going to take that same color, and I'm going to buff it out throughout my entire lash line. And if you want to make this look more dramatic, you can go ahead and put bottom eyeliner on your waterline, but that will make your eyes look a little bit smaller, but it will also make it a little more dramatic. So totally your preference. I'm not going to do it because I don't prefer bottom eyeliner, but that's just me. Next thing I'm going to do is just put on some mascara, because y'all know I can't put on eyelashes. I really like this mascara for weddings and stuff because it is waterproof, and obviously if you're at a wedding, you're bound to cry at least once. So I really like this mascara, but another one of my favorites is the Better Than Sex mascara, but I only like the original one. I do not like the waterproof one. I feel like it's, I don't know what's off about it. I don't know if it's the formula, I don't know if it's the brush itself. It's just, it does not work the same. But this is a good waterproof mascara. Now I'm just going to go in with some blush. For my blush today, I'm going to use the Sephora blush in Passionate. And I'm just going to use a Japanese brush right here. I love this brush. I think it works great for either a full face powder or just for blush. You're just going to smile and put it on your... I like to put it on the apple of my cheeks and kind of buff it out into my bronzer. And blush is one of the first things that does leave your face, so it's always okay to go a little bit more on your blush. And I'm just going to take that same Hoola bronzer that I used to contour my face to contour my nose a little bit. Going to spray my face one more time with the rose water spray. Today I'm going to highlight with the Laura Geller highlighters, and I'm going to use Gilded Honey. So I'm on the top of my eyebrow. I'm just going to use it on the tip of my nose and a little bit down the bridge. And if you want to intensify your shadow, then you just take a brush like this. I'm going to wet it a little bit and go back into that Gilded Honey. And for my lipstick, I'm going to use this lip liner by Huda Beauty, and it is in the color Trendsetter. And then for my lipstick, I'm going to use a Huda Beauty liquid lipstick in Venus. This is literally like my favorite nude of all times. And then if you want, you can just leave your lips like that. Or you can be a little extra. I'm going to use Crush by Anastasia. And I'm just going to put that on the center of my lips. And doing the lighter color in the middle will kind of give your lips an ombre effect, so it will make them look bigger. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys a lot more.